I just had a single buck, probably about 200 yards down through this cut. Just go through. He was moving right along. Before I could even get the camera on, he was popped out of sight. So he's running that lower bench below me. I heard blue jays making noise down along the pond, and then it cut that way. It's probably about 6 o'clock right now. You can see it's getting a little low light on me here, at least in the tent. Just heard another deer. Good morning. It's 10:30. I just got back from doing my morning chores. We're gonna go into a spot up here and we're gonna move that tent blind that I put in last night. For the simple fact that last night, sitting where I was up high, I actually saw the path that the deer are moving on. Which, after sitting in the first tent blind that you guys saw me filming all the does opening day, I now have a pretty good idea of how the deer are moving through that piece. It looks like it's a daily, if not every couple of days, pattern that they're using. So given the fact that I have very limited time to hunt this year, I'm thinking if I can put that blind in an area that they're utilizing more often, it's definitely going to help me get a shot with a bow anyways. Then we'll try to do some late season blind activity, and it should work, because what happens is the piece that I'm in, they feed in here sporadically, even though there's a ton of acorns, because this whole area is so full of acorns. Late season, this tends to be a spot that they start to move into because of the south-facing slope that's right over here behind me. It rings the front part of this. So this will be the warmest area in the late season. So they're going to be in here eating and bedding. I'm basically between the north and the south side where I am, which is great because a lot of times on these warmer days early season, they're going to bed on that north side and they're going to feed on the south. So it's a typical scientific move that I'm doing here. Anyways, so we're going to go and move that tent blind down the hill. What happened last night is my ground scent got winded. So I'd walked in and I spent all that time searching around in there for a place that was going to be feasible to put the tent blind, that was going to work. All that ground scent built up. The thermals kicked it, pushed all that scent down into a hollow at the bottom of this hill on the next bench down. When the first deer came through, he just came through, no problems. The second and third deer, when they came through closer to me, closer to the bank, and went into that hollow, and all that scent was in there. And they winded it, and off they went. I just can't believe, look at the acorns in here. Just, for as far as you can see, this ground is just absolutely peppered with acorns. Alright, we're going to make our turn here. I'm going to cut in here and go up around and go straight out to that other tent blind. And what I'm going to do on the way back is I'm going to try to pick an easy path back to this road. We still got snow on the ground. You can see some up here too. See it? It's October 18th. The first tent blind is sitting right up in here. That's the one I sat in on opening day that we had all the doe pictures in. You know, we filmed all the does out in front here. They seem to be coming from down here and up and back here in the morning. And they head up and they bed somewhere in the top or over the side, over this way. In the evening, they're coming from this way, or they're coming down and going that way. So, the problem here is, in the evening, they don't seem to come this way past the tent blind. It's only in the morning. So, this is a great morning spot early. We're going to go and put the tent blind in basically right directly straight across from here, about 300 yards. There's a huge open cut right there, and they drop down and they walk the edge of it. So we should be able to get in there and put the tent blind right where we need it. Tracks right there, that's from yesterday. Just trying to be easy because I don't want to blow anything out of here. And being the time that it is, it's that October time when these bucks start getting up and moving a little later, looking for does. They're following them pretty tight, so I don't expect to see anything. I'm hoping not, because I gotta make a bunch of noise. Okay, you see right there? There's that tent blind. That's my morning blind. See down here, we got all those oaks heading up the hill. It's all oak as it goes up over. There's another opening right up here that we may be putting a blind in that spot at some point right now. You can see there's a logging road that goes up right there. Don't see any fresh sign in here this morning. I probably went behind the blind. Sometimes they'll cut, you know, a road behind the blind too. Alright, we got it broke down. That's where it was. That's now where it is. I love, you know, once again, people are going to accuse me of trying to do commercials for these companies. But I'm going to tell you, I have had the most luck with these rhino blinds. They're so quick and easy to break down, so quick and easy to put up. They're durable, they last. I love the windows, the way they're set up on these R150s and the old R200s. It's a great, great tent blind. Anyway, I just wanted to show how quick it was to break down. That's where it was. That's where I sat yesterday. I had a great view, as you can see. But the wind here is not optimal for an evening stand. I should have known better. I was considering that the deer were going to come straight from this way, like this. Anyways, I thought they were going to come like this, right? No. They were down in that hollow down there. You can see the hollow piece there that holds scent. Just me walking in and looking for a place in here held scent down in that hole right there. There's a big draw that runs right down, and then there's a hollow spot right at the bottom of it. That alone will hold scent, and a deer hit it. The deer that didn't hit the scent was up on that high ridge. The one that didn't hit it, you could see, was up on that higher ridge instead of being down here in this hollow. That's where the scent pools. This here doesn't hold any scent. So when he came across, he just walked across. The other one was down right below this knob, right here in this hole. Hit that scent and blew. So sitting up on a hill like this, I should have known better. But if the deer had come from the way I thought they were going to come, from right over here on this road, I would have been fine. Because the wind itself was blowing this way, away from them, but the thermals were going down, so that's just the way it is. That's the biggest problem you have in New Hampshire, setting up a stand, whether it's a tree stand, whether it's a ground blind, or just sitting on the ground hiding behind a tree, is the hills and the benches. You have to kind of picture how it's going to run like water. So if the thermals are coming off this hill, they're going to run down like this. They're going to hit this flat, and they're going to split. One runs down that draw, and one set's going to run down this draw. And it's going to go around, there's a hollow at the bottom of it, and both those scent lines are going to pool right at the bottom. And it can stay there for 5 or 6 hours, just sitting there swirling and holding. And believe it or not, the deer are sensitive enough to pick that up at 5 or 6 hours old, and they will do it every freaking time. So I should have known better, but given the way I thought the deer had been moving, it was a gamble to begin with, and now we're going to gamble again, because we're going to go and put it down on this knob over here and see how that turns out. What's the difference there? That's about 200-yard difference between the stands, and that could make a huge, huge difference, just the way the scent's going to pool. Alright, here we go. Alright, I got down here to this point that feeds into this little cut. Well, it's not little, it's a big one, where I see those deer cutting across last night. And the deer that I saw came right through here and turned and went out this way. Another one went down through here. So the problem is, if I set up here, I still have to contend with the thermals heading down. So what I got right over here, right back in here, is the pond is just through the trees there. So there's a funnel down at the bottom. I don't have to worry about a deer swimming across the pond and running into me. A big one may try to skirt in through those trees. So if I can set my tent blind in so I can see both up here and that funnel, that's going to benefit me in two ways. The deer coming through here I'm going to be able to see, and if something cuts through that funnel down there, I can see it too. So what I'll do is there's probably 60 yards between the edge of this cut and the pond. The deer are going to run right either in the center of it or towards the edge of this cut. They're not going to run down by the pond, because that pond is just a big squashy, wet swamp along that edge. So they're going to be trying to run on the harder ground down there, I think. That's what the deer see. Just like a big bunch of brush back in there. Hopefully it will blend in enough that they don't notice it. I expect them to be coming from up there and right there. Right here. Right here. There's a trail that cuts right through here and goes that way. This is a logging road I'm going to follow in and out. So I'm going to go blaze a path from the tent blind to the top of this hill so I don't have to walk right here. So we're going to head out now. One last look. There's our tent blind right there. Looks like we've got about a 25-yard shot anywhere in here pretty much, if they come through. I may get footage of stuff and not get to shoot it, or I may just see does, I don't know. I may not see anything, but we're going to get out of here. We're going to eat lunch, we're going to do chores, come back here and sit here. We'll be back here about 4 o'clock. Hopefully a little bit earlier than that, but that's the plan. Alright, over and out. Ooh, that damn hill gets me every time. Alright, we set our camera. We set our tent blind up earlier. The wind's at my back, which means it's going to be really good for that tent blind. It's going to blow all my scent down onto the pond and set it up into that cut. The thermal's going to work with me once it starts cooling. Sun's still up. You can see it right there behind me. So it's about 4:15 right now. A little bit later than I like to get in normally, but I've got a camera person today. For the first time ever, I figured I'd drag Dee along with me to help out, because I got a good feeling about tonight. And I think having a camera person may help me out. Now, this is that spot where all the acorns are, as you can see. This is where we normally go in, right here. There's our little trail. It goes over there. Tent blind from here is right over there. But this new tent blind is about 400 yards down the hill on the back side of the pond in a funnel. Whew. So we're going to come over here in the landing and we're going to take that road out, the same one we walked out on. So stand by, we'll get with you when we get to the good old tent blind, the old Rhino 150. Okay, it's been kind of like a rodeo getting in here because usually I have it set up for one guy and now I got two, so it's something. So we're sitting in that funnel. Comes between the pond and this cut. This is a huge gamble. Winds at our back heading down to the pond. The deer generally come from this way. So if a deer comes in here, let's hope that the zero trace is going to work and eliminate our scent. I wanted to leave the screen up, but Dee is absolutely concerned that my shot will get screwed up with that. So to make her happy, we've taken the screen down. I'm going to drop one more piece of screen. I'm going to undo my bow and get it ready. And then we're going into silent mode. So let's see how this works out. I like this spot better than any spot I've sat all year. This is probably the spot. So we got a bunch of blue jays going off up here, kind of in that same direction that they usually come out, then they filter down through. So I don't know if they're going to go above us or come down this way. We're just going to keep an eye out. Just figured we'd let you know. I don't know why blue jays do that. They see deer every
you.